Learn more about Army careers in science, technology, engineering, and math at goarmy.com. More than 150 soldier possibilities ready and waiting. It could also be social as well. But we're here right at the Sports Stadium, Arlington, as we're still in Group F. Going into our match number 2, we've got Drexel facing off against Champlain College. So we'll see who is going to advance and face off against Northeastern. Northeastern just winning that one 16-4 over UTD JV. And so that brings us into our next matchup. Let's go ahead and introduce these teams, starting with Drexel. See how Drexel actually shapes up here for these rosters. Actually, I apologize. I jumped ahead of my team as well, but we'll talk a little bit about that later. But let's go ahead and introduce Drexel here, as you've got David, Febreze, STX, as well as Vizzo and Neo's Dragon. So that's the team for Drexel. This team is ready to rock and roll. They'll be facing off on the other side will be Champlain College. And we'll see how they play here in this matchup. You got Danjamin, as well as Lasky, Skarin, Officer, and Zarkin. These will be your 5 players. As you got the old finger guns set up there in that shot. So Champlain College, you also have a nice little headshot coming in for Danjamin. He also sent in his resume as well. So we'll review those later and whether or not he's got a job opportunity at the stadium. No,
he said that way too casually. I was thinking, no way.
All right, so let's go ahead and take a quick look at the pick bands as well. And these are how they shape up. So Champlain they've banned Overpass, Nuke, and Train. Thank you for banning Overpass first. We appreciate you. And then on the flip side, you've got Vertigo, Inferno, and Dust 2 were banned by Drexel. Of course, Drexel had the choice between whether they wanted to be on Dust 2 or Mirage. And I'm okay with seeing Mirage again. That's going to add to the total overall, but that's how those all shape up. So again, Champlain banning Overpass, Nuke, and Train. What do you think about these picks and bans?
That is the first map to see double digits in this tournament, Corey. So we made it all the way to Group F before we saw double digits, and that is Mirage. Second being Overpass. And as you mentioned, the first ban here coming out. Once again, I don't think anything too strange about this. If anything, Dust 2 making it pretty far there. And Drexel having the option to determine if they want to play Mirage or Dust 2, and I think that's the wise choice, going to Mirage. As we've always been saying, fundamental map and Dust 2, absolutely a frustrating map that can have huge swings either way, as well as always having to throw down that smoke going towards mid can get dicey sometimes. As we actually saw the one time we were watching Dust 2 in this tournament, as that is the lone one time we saw it. I believe that was in the first day of matches. It was St. Clair, Texas A&M. St. Clair taking a 16-10 over them. We saw in Dust 2, they actually weren't smoking down mid very often, and that caused a lot of issues from them, and then we just kind of just saw them start deteriorating as they went on and through that match. So St. Clair obviously moving on to the playoffs on our first day, and so we will not be seeing Dust 2. We'll be seeing Mirage. Just fundamental play coming out. So I wouldn't say anything too surprising other than that Dust 2 got that far. We'll just make note of that, and we'll speak a little bit about these players as we see them develop in that match. But
Yep.
some things off the bat. I liked the pictures, and I have to wonder if that's a quarantine mustache we saw there on the last slide. I was trying to grow mine myself, and I made it about a month, and then I realized my mustache doesn't grow in. It just grows longer, and so
let's go back. I want to look at this. I want to see that. I want to see this, if we can. Let's pull it back up as we wait for the knife round. I want to see this mustache that you were talking about. So you were talking about Champlain College?
Champlain, that is correct, yes.
Let's see. Oh, man, yeah. No, I think he's definitely doing a lot better than the mustache that you could grow.
Well, obviously, I just told you about the mustache I could grow, Corey. It was it basically just looked like how would I say this? It was like looks like an eyebrow on my lip, and it just did not look good. It was pretty bad. It just did not fill in. Actually, an eyebrow would look better than that. Actually, it didn't fill in. It just I just had whiskers that kept going longer and longer. And so I was just like, I gave it a month. I was like, it's quarantine. I'm going to give it a month. I'm going to give it some time. But the just didn't work out. So
yeah.
I guess for me, facial hair will never be an option. And I'll forever just
be Baby Jono.
Be Baby Jono, yes. As the baby of my family, and that's what I'm trying to stay as I look like.
All right, so we'll come back to here. I had to take another look as you were talking about it. So I think that's pretty funny.
You know, you've talked about how old you are, Corey, and I wonder if people at home think what the age difference between us would be.
It's probably a pretty big delta, but and I think it's just just because I have facial hair, and I'm also have no hair in other areas. So we're on Mirage.
I'm also incredibly mature though, so people might think it's closer than it really is.
That is questionable. That is absolutely questionable. We have different viewpoints on what maturity is.
Yeah, mine's correct and yours is not. But now we're getting onto the map. It looks like we are in the first round. Oh,
you just proved my point, which is good.
Corey, can we take this seriously, please?
Yes, yes we can. All right, so
about time.
So we'll see. Looks like Drexel will be starting off on the T side here on Mirage. You've got Champlain College. Will be on the counter-terrorist side. We'll take a look. We've got the bomb is just waiting inside a spawn. Probably going to throw some set smokes and flashes over the top while their teammates rotate around. So we're probably going to see him and execute here on the A-bomb site. Here comes the smoke over the top. Let's see if that lands perfectly in the window. It should. And so, actually, that was over for Catwalk. He actually blinded for or smoked off the Catwalk area. Now they're going to be playing very quickly up here. Neo's Dragon getting a drop. Star set, which is actually Officer. Woo! No, sir. I wasn't drinking. Goodness. As Officer picks up 3. Goodness gracious. We're taking another look here. 1. Another pick
I had this many, Officer, as he holds up 3, as he has 3K in the round. So,
ooh, man. What a way to start. So Champlain, an Officer was just right there, just waiting. He actually looks like an Officer with that
mean mode.
Yeah.
I will note something from Drexel there. I actually really liked that pistol take. That's the first time we didn't just see a B rush. They smoked off jungle using some utility from the get-go. So the first time we didn't see just an absolute rush on the pistol round. And oh my goodness, that is a rushing bullet in the face of the Laskies. He's going to find a Deagle in front of him, and that's the picked up scout coming out now for STX. You see the blood stain on the wall there. It might be attacked. He's going to look on towards us. We jump on with Officer. Like you mentioned, Corey, finding 3 in the last round and looking kind of tough so far already. He's got the M4 in hand as now he finds players pushing towards Connector. He can do a lot of damage here. Oh, shooting a little early, so now they know. Oh my goodness, these Deagles.
Yeah, something to note that's kind of interesting is, again, these are collegiate teams. And actually, Lasky and Skarin are actually playing on the same internets. There's some advantages to that, and there's also disadvantages to that. So when you're starting to talk about bandwidth and the pipe and what have you. So now they're starting to get the bomb. Oh, as he pulls away, he heard some footsteps there. So you can see, oh man, Skarin getting eliminated there by Febreze.
These Deagles have been insane in this round. So if you're Champlain in this round, you won the pistol and then you got hit in the face a lot by Deagles, and that's just not a great feeling as their money's going to be just torn apart. At least saving a kit and M4 in the hands is Dan. But you want more than that. This is usually a round that you should be winning. And look on the flip side, we see a Scout, MP9, and an M4 being saved on the side of Drexel. So great shots coming in as we're going to see a challenge here. Oh, excuse me, he's coming through, but now he's pushing forward. So there goes that MP9, and that's probably going to be that for the round, unless Febreze wants some more.
Danjamin. I was just kind of looking at it on his play style. Here's another look at STX starting the round, and then here's another one. I mean, so it's Vizzo with that. They've got as you said, the Deagles coming out in the second round, making a huge impact. So now we'll see about the other side for Champlain. There's the smokes over the top. And this time, instead of using that cat smoke, they're now going to go push through cat this time. And here's the P250 coming out for Zarkin. There's one player inside of the site. That is Skarin, and Skarin will fall. And that's a good molly that slows them down inside of Market.
Corey, this might be the 10th time we've seen Mirage, but this is the first time we're seeing some of these strategies coming out of a hit between Connector and the apartment. So it seems like Drexel trying to make things unique here. As we saw Champlain in that pistol round, or excuse me, they saw in that pistol round from Drexel, they smoked off jungle as they tried to make a push. Wasn't successful, but now these last 2 rounds have been successful. They're going to save onto these rifles. Not trying to find any exits, just trying to get on out of there, save everything in their hands, try to build up that money because it's not looking great on the side of Champlain. Round number 2 now on the board as the bomb explodes. Drexel going up 2-1. And let's see. Money's still not looking great on the side of Champlain. I suspect we'll probably see a full save here, maybe some deagles. Little bit of utility, and there you have it. That's all they've got to speak of. Danjamin still has that M4 and utility from previous rounds. See if he can make use of it here.
One of the things I like about what I'm seeing from Drexel is they're doing the same thing over and over and over again. Not necessarily taking the routes that they're taking, but now you can see they're going to be pushing right directly into, there's Danjamin, as he's dropped 3 and he almost gets himself a 4th one. This was a good round for them. Remember, Danjamin had himself an M4. He's at 8 and it says 8 and 1 right now. Goodness. But now Lasky and Officer are trying to do something here. They're tapping away. David in this one-on-one. This is all because Danjamin was boosted inside of the B bomb site. They went directly into the conflict. Officer is hurting really bad, and that's going to do it right there, 3-1. But again, I want to talk briefly about what's happening in the start of every round, at least one we've seen since the second round. We've actually seen Drexel throwing the same 2 smokes on Catwalk. So you'll see those get set up. And what that actually allows to happen, we actually even saw it in the pistol round as well. And so you see the same smokes every single time, which means that you don't know what's going to happen with them. So there comes the mollies, there's the smokes, and they're actually being aggressive. They're doing it again.
Same exact push.
Doing it again. It's still working, so they're going to keep trying it. Zarkin, man, inside of the site was Zarkin and Skarin, and both of them fall.
We see the AWP coming out here for Lasky, so we've now identified who the op player is for Champlain, and wow. Yeah, Corey, you said it perfectly. These B hits, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And that's exactly what Drexel's doing. And this time they make it to the site without even dropping a player. Behind a frag of XTX and Vizzo, we see Skarin on 0 kills. Having a slow start. As now we see them exiting the site. So that's going to spell 4 on the board here for Drexel. Champlain getting the pistol round and then nothing for themselves afterwards. So money's still not looking great. They're able to save some crucial rifles here with the AWP and 2 M4s. Match pause coming through now.
So taking a look here. So one of the things we talked about as well is we talked about the fact that both Skarin and Lasky are playing on the same internet. So we'll be paying attention to that on whether that impacts them. And with that being stated, both of them are currently still at 0 kills. We're heading into round number 6, and we're waiting for this one to see what happens. So far, we've got not seeing any notes at this point in time. So we'll see how that shapes up. So now again for Drexel though, I really like what we're seeing here. If we can pull up the map, I can kind of talk a little bit about what they're doing while we're in this pause. So right there on the map, we saw right there. There's a catwalk. We're seeing the same smoke each and every time. And they toss out those smokes. They hit those smokes right there at the elbow. So it's actually smoking off. And what really where that smoke is located at, it actually helps them be able to support themselves as they go towards catwalk and go into the bomb site. But it also supports them as well to be able to head into connector as well. So they're able to hit from 2 different sides through those rounds. And so it's it's a solid tactic. It's a solid approach. We'll see him do it over and over again. As we actually see David's the one that's leaving the server, so it must be on the other side for Drexel. So we'll wonder what's going on over there, and so we'll see whenever he comes back into the server. So what we've just been told is that they're actually Drexel is working on fixing one of their monitors. So that's I just heard another thing that I think is pretty interesting to hear. He said that one of his that his monitor had died. So that's David. That his monitor had died and that they're swapping it out. You know, I've got tons of monitors that are just laying around my house that I'm going to go pick up that are 144 hertz or 240 hertz. So I'm just going to grab another one of those. I wish I had that life.
So, well, we do here at Esports Stadium Arlington. We've got over 100 of those 240 hertz monitors. And have to plug it somehow, right, Corey? And it looks like he's back in it. So, oh my goodness, yeah, that is pretty funny though that he's able to grab a monitor and just get right back.
I mean, I've got 2 monitors that I use at home. So I mean, it could be just a simple swap, and that's how fast he was able to swap it there. So they're getting ready here.
I've only got one, so if I was in this position, I'd have to go down to my other monitor, 75 hertz. So that's a
that's basically not having a monitor on at all.
Pretty much. I may as well just play on my phone at that point.
Yeah. Sometimes it's better just not to play than to play on something like that.
And there we go. So now we're seeing the round being resumed, round number 6. And here we go. We're seeing the first rifle rounds, or the first gun rounds to come out for both teams here. So we saw Champlain having a lot of success in that pistol round, but not able to find their stride. As we see 3 players now running their way towards connector, bomb being left down, and that's David still in the bomb site. Or excuse me, still in spawn, as now Starset's being found towards connector, and they're just going to run their way on through. They're not stopping for anything. They're not even using their utility, Corey. We saw before players trying to overthink it a little bit, and they're just keeping their guns out. They're holding W. There's only 2 buttons on the keyboard. It's their left click button and W, as they've already found their way onto the bomb site. That is the bomb going down now through David, and it's a 3v3 retake.
Yeah, so as I said before, I mean, you saw the exact same smokes, everything, and they hit a different bomb site, hit a different approach here. As now they're holding down connector. They've got 1 player to worry about inside of CT spawn. As Lasky has made his way into the site. Nice op shot coming in. And now it's left up to David. Is his monitor refreshed? Is this the right call, or is he playing now at 60 hertz? We'll find out as he peeks out. And oh no, in the defuse, and he just keeps shifting. Just stay in one location and adjust your crosshair. As so there you have it, 4-2. There's no reason to side strafe and spray like that.
It was the monitor.
Yeah, the monitor is like it grows an arm and a finger and like pressing down on the D key.
No, it's just on a stand and it kept like rotating, so he was just trying to adjust his aim. You know,
copy.
You gotta give him the benefit of the doubt there, but
he's leaning with it, rocking with it. Yep. So 4-2 in favor of Drexel now.
And winning that round actually wasn't the best thing for Champlain. Obviously, getting one on the board, but I mean the sense for their economy.
Yeah, they lost 4 players out of that round.
Obviously, you like to see 1 rounds, but you also like to see a good economy to stand for. So they've got Famas no longer an AWP in the hands of Lasky. Not able to find it at the end after that defuse.
Yeah, this round is different. They've changed up everything, which I'm okay. I mean, of course, you can change things up as you need to. We did not see the same smokes and flashes and everything, but you can see SDX setting up, and he knows that officer has been playing close, watching connector, and another set of smokes are coming in. That Molly's going to slow them down there, but they're going to push through the smoke. But Febreze has done definitely a lot of damage over there inside of the A bomb site, but he finally gets taken out by Scar. Bomb planted inside of A, and here we start to see the retake. There's Zarkin to kick things off.
It is a 3v3. We see pretty widespread from these players here as the retake's now coming through. As Zarkin's going to be first one out and finds one pick where he gets his AK in hand. He's spraying towards the guy in pallets, but now it's left to Sarkin, and it is a 1v1 situation, and he's poking out with the USP, and he's going to win it. That is a great round from him, and his 3K at the end to close it out. He finds 3 kills, and they find 3 rounds behind it. We're going to the 8th. The money's starting to get a little bit better for the side of Champlain, as they slowly start picking down the economy that is on on the side of Drexel. So here we are on board with him. He finds the pick onto the player from Palace, takes out the pistol, and able to close it out.
Yeah, good play there. Let's go ahead and switch over to Zarkin. I've got a really important storyline to talk about. All right, so John, this is what happens during a quarantine, how you actually grow out your mustache plus your beard and everything as well. So a little different than what we.
You haven't taught me anything. You're only showing me a picture and saying this is how it's done.
I just wanted to give you a before and after as we talked
That's
about.
That's what I look like David.
All right, so now they're heading here towards the A-bomb site. Nade's coming over the top. Bomb is planted by Drexel now. And that's a deep nade, and it's but the counter. They both hurt one another, but of course Zarkin taking just 3 damage out of that one. Here comes this 2-player retake, and they've got 2 players over there towards the A ramp, waiting there. Nice smoke. That's a good smoke idea. That's going to kind of cut off that choke point. So working now. It's going to basically be a 2-on-1 battle here against Vizzo. Vizzo eliminated. STX over the top. And he's checking every angle that he can. Scarn wanted to do it again, and it's just not going to happen. 5-3 now in favor of Drexel.
And Corey, this is what we said we wanted to see. We wanted to see teams hit the bomb sites. We wanted to see them hit it hard. And that's exactly what Drexel's been doing so far in this half. We've seen them hit the B bomb site many times with great success, and it seems like every time they get to a bomb site, they're able to get the bomb down. So despite losing these rounds, their money's still in a pretty decent standing as we see a MAC-10 coming through for Vizzo. And it seems like we're seeing another fast B hit. And oh my goodness, there's actually 5 people stacked onto that site now. Sure, they're pistols, but they are all there, and they can fight together as 1 goes down and 2 goes down. They don't check behind them, and that's the Zeus.
Yeah, a little zap. Oh, man. God of Lightning coming out. And Officer, his last man standing, he's going to get dropped. Zarkin pulling out the Zeus.
Corey, I've got a question for you.
Yep.
Remember that soundboard we were talking about?
Yep.
Imagine we didn't have the audio for this game, and we had to make the sound for the Zeus. What would it sound like for you? Getting the kill, that is.
Exactly what you just heard.
I didn't hear it. Can you just give me a reminder?
So for those of you that can't see it, whenever Jono gets super excited about a joke, his eyes open big and wide, and he's hoping that you'll bite onto it. And sometimes the thing that's challenging for him is that I don't bite on. I don't take the bait. And so now, 6-3 in favor of Drexel. Dan jamming as he's trying to tap away with the scout, but David says, hey, I've got the one-click monster. He's got the AWP, and 7-3 now in favor of Drexel.
I don't really think that was a bait. I just wanted to hear what your sound would be, Corey.
It was absolutely a bait.
I just don't think your voice is capable of going that high is really what I'm trying to get at.
Uh-huh, yeah.
What was that?
Exactly, 7-3
Holy
right
cow.
now.
Why did you have to do it as I was talking? You like snuck it in there. I'm going to have to go watch the VOD for that one again. But if I had to do the Zeus, it'd probably sound exactly the same. You're right. And as we see him pushing on to the A site now, we see the AWP in the hands of Lasky. We saw the scout last time, but they are already on the site. And my goodness, we're 20 seconds into this round, and the bomb is now being planted by David. Is a 5v5 retake, and Officer being pushed out of that position. Great utility usage so far here from Drexel as we see Lasky finding 1, not able to find 2 is Febreze. Swinging out and finding a nice headshot for himself as is a 3v3. And we're on the flank now with Zarkin. He finds 1. He's not going to pull the trigger yet. He sees 2 and finds nice. He finds the rifle first and then goes for the MAC-10. Great recognition. As we see, the last player is sandwiched in at the sandwich position, as that's going to be the defuse.
No kit.
No, they have time. Told you, I wasn't even worried about it.
Why did you tell me that you weren't worried about it?
What do you mean? I didn't say anything. It's round number 12, Corey. I didn't.
7-4.
Every time you look at me now, all I hear is the Zeus. Ah!
Oh man, that's my third favorite weapon in CS.
First one being the scout.
Uh-huh.
Second one being the op.
Negative.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to figure out what that one is. Don't tell me. And your third's the Zeus. I would have thought that was. Oh, second one's the knife.
Yep.
Okay, there we go. You were talking about that one earlier. But Valorant, I got 20 knives today. I only paid for a few hours. But okay, so we're going back into it. Round number 12 here.
John, I have the power to make sure that you're muted, just so you know.
I do too. I have a talkback button, which I can mute myself. But I'm going to keep myself here since I'm
Probably
talking about.
should use it more often.
Whoa, wait a second. That wasn't his teammate.
Zarkin. There it is.
As we're talking about it,
yes.
he brings it to life. I thought for some reason that was his teammate. No, it was not. So that's $1,000 in his pocket. That's going to feel good for him, as that's the first opening of the map. He actually saw one towards ladder. Oh, didn't pull the trigger. And sometimes trigger discipline's good, but in that situation, you want to take it where you can. And now they're going to rush into the B bomb site, and that's the bomb falling. For Breege not staying fresh as he gets picked off there by Lasky. Now the rotation's coming through as they saw the bomb going down to 3v3 take onto this site. Zarkin, he was able to find the knife, but not able to find the kill, as now 2 players left. Bomb's going down in the hands of Neo. Ooh, just shaving his elbow with that shot. Now it's all on the officer. He's got a kit. They know exactly where he's at, and he's being burned out of all the positions he wants to be in. And this is a mighty task ahead of him. His money's not looking great, so I'd imagine he's going to save, and that is exactly what he's going to do, Corey. That's going to be round number 8 on the board for Drexel. It got a little slippery. They had a better lead for themselves, but they gave up some rounds, and now they're finding their stride again. So heading into round number 13, they're saving an AWP and 2 AKs. They still got plenty of money on their side, so they will have everything they need to go against the weaker round on the side of Champlain.
So another round here for Drexel.
I'm still curious about how he got to this angle and just was able to find that knife.
There's a couple different positions that you can play. The fact that he could have either, more than likely, probably jumped out of window off the start. He probably had a really good spawn, jumped out of window, beat any players that were inside of mid, and then walked his way up towards the staircase and flanked him behind that way. I don't think he had time to get all the way to kitchen and hold an angle, but here we'll talk about this round now, as it's going to be a Deagle save coming in. And looks like Zarkin was checking out his weapon for a little too long there.
Oh, that's a Palace and ramp hit, so I really like how they're doing these hits. They're not all sending all of their eggs into one basket. They're actually spreading out the players everywhere they can. It seems like okay.
Officer.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. He just kind of fell over and died, burnt himself up, but nice transfer. Oh, actually no, Febreze getting the second one. But nonetheless, we have round number 9 on the board for Drexel, as that was, like you mentioned, the pistol round. So as we see an AWP going in the hands of Lasky again. It's been a little bit slow on that weapon. He's 3 and 10 in this half. And let's see where he's going to play from. He is going towards that window position, as we saw, going for those catwalk. Ooh, he finds a pick onto David, so that's an opening.
Yeah, that's right there from window.
I wonder if their smokes missed, or no, they had the smokes in window, so he must have found the pick either before it bloomed or just pre-fired.
No, I apologize. He probably caught him from connector. Let's make a quick assumption there.
Now we see Theo finding a fast way into the ladder room, and Zarkin not able to make his way around for a knife this round. Now that's kind of shaking up the odds a bit here, Officer. A little worried on which angles he wants to look from. We saw 3K from Officer in that pistol round, and ever since then we've only seen 1 kill. So he's gotten 1 kill in 13 rounds. It's going to feel a little bit bad, and as he's going to make it 1 kill into 14 rounds now, as doesn't connect the shot onto Neo, I think that is. Yes, it is. And it's round 2 in the round as his team is pushing through connector. As you see, 2 players playing on the B-bomb site, and it's all left up to Lasky with that AWP and can't quite find it as Febreze takes him out. Corey, this is looking like a 10th round on the board here for Drexel. Once again, the money is not great going into round number 15. They're going to invest everything they can, as that's the last round of the half. As, Dan finding himself in a bad place, having to reload his weapon, as Scarron's going to try to hold on to this gun now, as the money has just been absolutely fantastic for Drexel and seemingly this entire half. Yeah,
Drexel's played as a complete team. Whenever they're executing on all of these bomb sites, they execute together. Now you're talking about they're spreading out. But they're all executing together at the same time. There's nobody that's even stopping. They're not waiting for something else. They're not waiting on a teammate to do something. So you have, instead of having just 1 entry fragger, you have 5. And so that's what we're seeing from Drexel, and they're playing all really well across the board. And so
it's a really scary thought, isn't it? Thinking of 5 entry fraggers.
Yep.
Holy cow.
I mean, the concept is at that point, they're all rushing into sites, but that's the reality of what we're dealing with. You're not having to just rely on one player to get those opening kills. And some of these teams that we've seen here in the tournament, they rely on really heavily on one or two players. And in this, we're seeing all of them push into sites. We're seeing everyone execute together. And you can look at the scoreboard. I mean, everybody's doing about the same. They're pretty even kill except for Vizzo. But you know, sometimes that's just how things shape up when the rest of your team are doing really well. Sometimes you only have X number of opportunities to pick up kills. So I won't hold it against them being at 4, and I believe it's 4 and 8, 4 and 7. So
we actually have the dualies coming out on Danjamin, and it's another fast B hit. So here we go. Let's see the odds. That grenade's going to do some damage. It actually was just a little bit too far back, but he's in a great position with his UMP. He's going to find one. He's going to find two. Nice transfer. Neo's going to take him out, and that's going to be the bomb sites theirs. They haven't gotten it down yet, as it is a 2v2, just like that. As we see one player towards market absolutely getting lit up.
Yeah, Neo's Dragon has to do something here to help out STX, because STX now down at 9 HP. So this is the final round of the first half. So you will see them try to retake this bomb site. There's STX giving away, make sure they know where he's at, but it also helps them draw the attention. Neo's Dragon adjusting based off of that information. Now they're working inside the site. Great job, great adjustment. Of course, it's just baiting back and forth between each other. And again, that one shot there made a huge difference. What are you noticing here?
I'm just noticing that STX and Neo's Dragon, they just split the ace between them. And I mean, just look at that team play they did, like you mentioned, perfectly. He was just spraying XTX, giving away his position, and Neo's Dragon perfectly wrapping around the site, getting into the best position possible to set up either the crossfires or uncomfortable positions from Champlain. So even in those two individual players, we saw great teamwork between them, splitting the 5 kills and splitting the rounds now in their favor of 11-4 as we head into the second half. We're seeing Champlain trying to take their way onto the A site. We see 2 people in Palace, and oh my goodness, there's 3 people running down the ramp.
Yeah, they're pushing A ramp right now. I mean, they're right there next to him. And, of course, you saw Champlain was like, well, we want to have a good execute. Let's work together, make sure everybody gets their crosshairs set up, make sure you look at the crack of this brick, and then the sky, there's a cloud that's right there. And they were all caught up in the moment, and so Drexel tried to be aggressive, and Scarin was like, well, I'm not going to look at the clouds. I'm going to watch out for any type of aggressive push. And he was able to take out STX off the start of the round. So now we're seeing a quick adjustment here. And they're really starting to question, well, which one do we want to hit? Do we want to hit B or do we want to go towards A? I mean, the sky is the limit.
And we're looking at the clouds, and that is exactly right. They have all the opportunities in front of them, and hopefully they don't start overthinking. And I think that's something we can commend Drexel for, is that when they found something, they committed and they didn't think twice about it. This is what we're going to do, and this is how we're going to hit it, and they worked as a unit and as a team to do so. And now it seems like they're setting up for this A hit again. There's one player playing on Palace. That's Vizzo, as we see him here. And then another player, and David, right there. He's playing from Ticket Booth, as we see the utility coming out.
Yeah, they're already starting to rotate towards the A bomb site. And now they're starting to pressure in here. They were hoping that they left this bomb site, but here comes the push. And Danjamin with the early one. 20 seconds left here in the round. Bomb needs to get the bomb planted, and that's going to happen there. As now it's left up to Febreze. 1-on-4, and he's just tapping away with that P2K.
He also has a kit, so this isn't entirely out of the realm of possibility here. Sure, it is 3 players ahead of him, but that P2000, if you get close enough, one headshot will do the job.
Yeah, they're just playing games of whack-a-mole, and this time Danjamin has got himself some coupons. Oh, there's another one. He has a smoke here, and he's going to toss it off the outside, baited it out. Now he's not even going to try to win the round here, as he's trying to peek wide there. He's hoping, but he knew that he had low health, and so he wanted to challenge it. And so 11-5, and Champlain, they win a second pistol round.
It was dicey, and there you see there's that first pick, getting very aggressive, actually pushing all the way out towards the A ramp on that side. And here's that. That was not the final kill, excuse me. This is the final kill, and we saw it last time. But I think I might have tried to stick the defuse there. He had the smoke, like you mentioned, had low health, so spraying through it could have been the chance, but I guess he felt more comfortable trying to take his odds with the fight, as we're seeing another A hit coming through.
Yeah, but this time it's going to be much, much faster. They do have 3 players, or make that all 4 players from the CT side are already over there. STX picking up 1. Made it into the site, And what a shot there coming in from, I believe it was Scarin. Yep. And so now bomb's going to get planted in his default position again. Same location as before. And Officer with a MAC-10 from afar. But Scarin, he has got 3 in this round. And they've finally taken him out. And just waiting. Febreze is just wanting to see the edge. And oh my God, it's still not. Oh, there it is. Hey, might as well go all the way. And Febreze with another one. Yes. We'll be on the lookout for that scout demo as we see some highlights. I'm basically talking to my replay guys saying I want to see the scout. So now it's going to be 12-5 in favor of Drexel.
Febreze also sitting on 19 kills, and here we go. We're going to see him get deleted out of the server. Oh!
That one. And here's another one.
No, that was the second one. We saw the first one, and that was the second one towards Palace. And he's sitting on top of the server with 19. So Febreze stating his name. He's playing fresh. Here in round number 18, we're seeing him go to the B-bomb site with that AK. As we see the rest of Champlain, looks like 3 of them making their way towards apartments. And as you said that, they went to underpass. So I think that's the name of the game here. We talk a little bit too soon sometimes, Corey.
Yeah, you do.
I said we.
Yeah, you do.
Corey.
Yes, John? So they're waiting in underpass right now, trying to figure out how they want to be able to execute. They're waiting for any type of push, and there's only one push that happens, and that's STX, and he wasn't even really pushing; he was just checking, and he drops Lasky there on A ramp. This round's gonna go too slow for Champlain. Like, oh man, Officer. Oh, okay, all right. Let's hit the hard ones.
Yeah, I was about to say he did it with
Bob's going towards the
style.
B-bomb site now, though. In the action, there's Neo's Dragon. He's locking it down. Oh, I say that as they found the key to the treasure. As now the bomb is planted inside of B. So I would say mission is accomplished here. And Scarin, of course, he's pretty solid player. He could have tried to be able to extend it even further, and a waste of a smoke.
I'm probably gonna find one and pick it up, is what I assume.
Silver bullets.
Making an arrow. That's cute little.
That's almost like how. So our staff at Esports Stadium, John. We've done like Scribble.io, and we have. This is a shout out to one of our staff members. She leads all of our marketing, and sometimes you can't draw in Scribble.io without a bunch of arrows saying what you wanted people to focus on. So there you go.
Corey, fun fact. The first time we ever played Scribble.io as a full team, I won.
That was a fun fact, Jono. Thank you.
That's actually the most fun fact that I know as we see round number 19 unfolding unfavorable for Drexel. And is now a 2v4 as Officer is finding himself with 9 HP. He's finding a pick onto David, his Danjamin. Only getting him down to 48 as this AWP is going to challenge from mid window as David's just going to fall out of there, not trying to lose this gun. Trying to save as much money as they can because still that AWP is a very expensive weapon. No need to lose that one as they know where these players are at and they know the bomb is down. There is 55 seconds left in this round. And we see the smoke grenade going through connector outside of ladder room. And Danjamin's pushing towards connector. We see that STX is on the other side waiting for him. There you go. There's his perspective. 30 seconds left now. No movement. At this point, you have to wonder if these players are wanting to save these guns and start to get a little bit more aggressive as STX towards connector. He's pushing his way out.
Yeah, he's
going to poke, and he's just going to say, guys, I don't see anything. The bomb is not there anymore. There's 15 seconds left, and they don't hear anything on site, so they're calling out for the save now. As Danjamin makes his way towards mid, he's going to join his teammate, and they're going to hold on to these guns, and that's going to be round number 14 here for Drexel.
I think Officer said you're too close to me. I'm going to go even further this way.
He's trying to keep his social distancing. 6 feet away.
That's right, 6 feet away.
And this round's about to be 6 feet under and complete, or excuse me, this match. starting to get very favorable on the side of Drexel. Their money is once again starting to stack up and not looking great on the side of Champlain. They've got two Deagles, a MAC-10, and then the save guns from last round. So there's at least that officer poking out through that A ramp. The only thing he's going to see is the smoke from the Molotov, and here we go. Zarkin now getting a flash out. Oh, excuse me, a smoke and the flash out came from Drexel, and they find officer. So there goes that AWP, saved for nothing. They'll probably be able to pick it up, but they're still looking to make this a hit, just a little bit more delayed now.
Yeah, one of the things I'm seeing differently from Drexel opposed to a lot of the other teams that we've seen in the tournament when we've watched Mirage, they actually are playing a little bit, they're more intent. You've got Vizzo who's playing there towards the underneath Palace, and that nade just barely misses him. But they're spreading throughout, and well, and there you go. They've found their opening. Oh my goodness! David almost getting spammed through the smoke. But Febreze has gotten 2 in this round, and now it's left up to Neo's Dragon and David versus Danjamin and Lasky. David is going to see bomb is dropped. It's actually, I think it's dropped up on Palace area. Oh no, it's on top of a bomb box. Uh-oh. Neo's Dragon and Lasky, 25 seconds. Yeah, it's right up there on top of the bomb box. So he's taking his time, creeping. He's gotten 2 kills to his name in this round.
He's got 15 seconds. So
I like this play by Neo's Dragon. He's actually playing the corner where he's not peeking. He's not giving up his angle. And so you hear the bomb getting picked up. This is going to be what do you think? He's going to bait it? He does not. And so 15-5. And that's something that, I mean, you get caught in this situation where you have to make a choice. Do you like just try to get to the bomb, pick it up, and try to play with it? And the way he planted, he cleared out a bunch of areas. So John, I want to say this for a second. So he cleared out a bunch of different areas. He did not clear out CT spawn, but he planted for it. So that's a big no-no. He cleared out other areas, cleared out connector, he cleared out a ramp. He saw those different areas. And then he planted for CT spawn, and that's what hurt him.
To his defense, he might have been worried about the time. I was thinking, oh my gosh, I have to get the bomb down. And
you go 2 inches over, you'd be fine.
And in which I agree, but obviously it's a different situation. We're here to talk about it, and we're about to talk about this last round coming in here as STX able to take down 2 and able to take down 3, but has been traded off, and Danjamin's got all of it to do, and is being found by Febreze, the man himself, finishing off top the server with 25, looking smooth in that round is Drexel, and they will move on to fight against Northeastern, and that was a commanding performance, 16-5.
Yeah, great game by Drexel. When we watched off the top, I was really a big fan of their T side setup.
Champlain winning both pistol rounds too.
That's right. That's absolutely right. And then of course we saw a quick counter from both of those as well, where we saw them come back and they won the second round. I know for a fact on the second half they won the second round, that being Drexel, even though Champlain won the pistol round. I think it happened very similarly on the, I think this either the second or third round, is then Drexel then picked up that one as well. So not even taking full advantage of winning the pistol round. But I want to go back to the fact of how Drexel was playing that T side, throwing those set smokes over the top in the very beginning and creating a tempo, creating a chain where they, Champlain can't go, well, they're throwing this smoke so we can expect X, right? That's what you're trying to eliminate, which means that players on the counter-terror side, they don't know how to rotate until they actually have contact. And so that's what we were seeing there is the smokes coming over. They were divided. They could go any direction that they wanted to. They divided the map really in 2. And then they had some really good control. And then they just won a lot of good gunfights.
Yep, exactly. I mean, you said it perfectly. It's just their aim was on point. So was their teamwork. At every opportunity there was for one pick, they always found more than that.
Yep.
And they were always setting themselves up. And I think the last round perfectly before the half is when we saw the 2 players of STX and it was Neo's Dragon working together to get that combined ace between the 2 of them and just absolutely rocking that B-bomb site. One spraying through the smoke towards Cat, the other one playing towards Bench. Started to wrap around, and they absolutely collapsed on them and took the 11th as they went into the half. So I would say I'm very impressed with how they played, even being the number 16 seed going against the number 8 in Northeastern. We saw Northeastern necessarily standout players, but obviously just great play throughout their whole team. So I'm going to be very curious to see how Drexel has their odds stacked up against Northeastern.
Yeah, so I always write down a note about like which player or what couple players that played well in a particular map. This time I wrote down team, and I was just talking about Drexel. And they played extremely well as a team. All of their executes were pretty strong. They all worked together heading into the site. I think it is going to be a close one, but I don't necessarily know if we saw the full potential of Northeastern either, though. I've learned based off of this tournament is you do not put, as you said earlier, you do not put all your eggs in one basket, and I don't try to basically. I'm going to slow down my roll on making assessments based off of just one map. So we'll see how that one plays out. So now we've got it. Going into our next matchup, this will be the first matchup of the day that will determine who is going to advance into the playoffs. That is going to be Drexel to be taking on Northeastern. We just saw that matchup there on Mirage, so good game for Drexel. And so we'll see. We're actually going to take a brief. We're going to take a break for a little bit, where we'll be back here in probably about 10-15 minutes. So go ahead and take your time. We're going to allow these teams to get connected, even downshift for a second before we have to hop into this next one. So stay tuned. Right around, I guess that would be 2 o'clock Central. 3 p.m. Eastern. That would also be noon on the Pacific Coast. I'm trying to help out all of those because I know, well, as I've been working with these teams on scheduling, they were struggling when it came with time zones. So there you go. Hopefully you now have a good assessment of where we're going to be starting off. So in about 15 minutes from now, we'll be kicking off our next matchup. Drexel facing off against Northeastern. We'll find out who's going to advance into the playoffs after all of this.